What up? What up? It's your man, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? What's going on, y'all? It's another version of the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Glad to be back. And of course, I am not doing this by myself. I got my guy to the right of me, my guy Rue. What up, Rue?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? Nothing much. See, you got a new background there.
Yeah, man, I'm out of town, bro. We trying to do some big things, but either or, man. What's going on, man? You been good?
I'm still in my same luxurious plush crib. Nah, everything's good. Everything's been good, man. Healthy, so can't complain. Playoff time, October. You start talking about, the postseason. Got some teams going down today, some favorites. It's the best time of the year, Mr. Controversy, for me personally. Libra season, birthday in a week. You got all sports. Basketball media day was what, Monday?
Yeah.
It's a good time to be alive, sir.
Yeah, man. This is that time of the month, or the year, I should say, where, like you said, sports is. You got WNBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Jail. College football is like well within their season, man. It's a good time for a real sports fan, or even for a fake sports fan, whatever. But it's a good time for a sports fan, man. But anyway, man, we have a great show for you all. We are talking about something dear to my heart, man. We got to talk about the Chicago Bears and the situation with Justin Fields and even their coaching staff, just the organization, period. Just weighing on that as far as, is it his fault? Coaching? What is it? What's going on? Also, we talking college football. Georgia is number one, but you got a lot of good teams in college football. And some are questioning if Georgia should be number one. Who is the best college football team in football? And college football, we're going to get into that. Also, basketball, as you mentioned, Media Day, man. We got to talk about what happened in Media Day, and as far as who said what, not just with the Hawks, but just all around. And then we got to talk about that trade for the Celtics, man. Did that make the Celtics the number one team in the East by getting Drew Holiday? We'll get into that. Then we got to talk more NFL. I just wonder if right now, I'm going to save it, but I know this is your team with the Falcons. Is it time for them to bring in Heineke, with their record? And it's funny because as bad as Ritter played, they're only 2-2. When I say only, not necessarily saying they only won 2 games, but they only lost 2 games.
Right.
1 game within the division lead. So, and of course, it's still early. So what should they do? We'll get into that and get into some more NFL. And then we got Major League Baseball, as you mentioned, the playoffs. You can feel the buzz in the air. I'm actually in Baltimore, and in DC. I was in Baltimore, man, and stumbled on Camden Yards. Went to made the wrong turn, and ended up right there. Like this is dope. And seeing people walking in, and
that was destiny, bro.
Yeah, sure enough, I asked the security guard, what's going on? And they're having open practice, man.
Like, look, the game ain't till Saturday.
Right. And I was able to go in, walk in, free sitting behind the home plate. It was perfect, man. Like, it was dope, being that historic field. But we got to talk about the MLB playoffs. Then we got Dr. Fowler coming in with your injury report for your fantasy teams or your favorite player or favorite team. So, got a great show. We got a quick hit, stop it, what's on my mind. So please let your family and friends know they can listen and look at the show on the 3-Point Conversion Facebook page, also the 3-Point Conversion YouTube channel, and the 3pointconversion.com. Hey, man, it's time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. So, first off, this story is wild, Rue. I don't know if you watched the game. I didn't watch the game Monday, but I saw the highlights. So I don't know if you saw it, but it was like the 9th play of the game. So Seattle Seahawks safety Jamal Adams just came back from injury, right?
Yeah.
Then he got in that collision where he hit his head. His helmet. I think he tackled someone. Injured
Daniel Jones' knee.
he was. That's right, his knee, and he was wobbly, right? And they took him off the field, and then you know how the NFL orders that doctor that comes in and examines them, make sure they don't have concussions or whatever.
The neurologist.
Yeah, the neurologist, and he ruled him out. And then next thing you know, it was a wild scene where the players had to hold Jamal Adams back from the neurologist. He was going in and going off. Well, they're saying that he could face discipline for his actions towards that independent concussion doctor appointed by the NFL and the NFLPA. Boy, what you think of this, man?
Yeah, I was watching the game. I saw the hit, and he stayed on the ground. I'm like, not again. Because remember, he got hurt the first game of the season last year.
Right.
So I'm like, man, not again. But it did look like a head injury because he got up, and it's sort of like he didn't know where he was. And I sort of, when he went to the 10, I just kind of was like feeling bad for him, man. And I didn't see him. Well, they did show a replay of him, voicing his frustration on the neurologist, or whatever. I don't know what he said. Maybe it's what he said, but you could tell he wanted to get back in there. I think it was a little bit of sense of embarrassment too.
He just came back.
Because he just came back. Social media going wrong with it, calling you injury prone, saying you ain't worth what you're worth. So that emotions built up, but he did release a statement apologizing about 30 minutes ago. So maybe he trying to jump on it, and maybe he think Roger Goodell gonna lower that fine a little bit.
but here's the thing though. He like I said, they was holding him back for real. Like they had to hold him back. He was going ham, but because it made you would think a Tua when he was wobbly and all of that, it's like he can't go back in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is weird because against Kansas City, the same thing happened to Justin Fields. He went out, and DJ Moore was the one like, "Yo, you got to go. Hey, y'all come get him." And then when he came, he went out, when they went in, they looked at him, and he was back on the field like 2 plays later. Yeah. So, but with Adams, evidently that neurologist is like, "Nah, you got to stay out," and Adams didn't like it and went in, and so he could face disciplinary action. So, which was, crazy in itself, man. That's crazy. So, we'll see what happened to that. Moving on, man, this is sad. LSU safety Greg Brooks, who underwent surgery to remove a tumor from his brain last month, has been diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer. So, man, our prayers definitely go out with him, Rue. Like that's you never want to hear things like that.
Yeah,
that's sad. So we praying for him, and hopefully, man, he get back on the field at some point, man. Once they get it fixed, we're gonna pray that everything is good, everything works out. Moving on, this was a shocker. The Los Angeles Chargers trade cornerback J.C. Jackson back to New England in exchange for a late round draft pick in 2025. Your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, so I didn't know what J.C. Jackson really had going on before last week. He was a healthy scratch in their last game, and I saw he had a warrant out for his arrest or whatnot. So he's in a little bit of trouble. But it seems like they always come back to Bill. Like Bill's getting them at a discounted rate. He just got the big deal from the Chargers. Chargers gonna pay that this year. So Bill's happy, and plus they lost Christian Gonzalez for the year.
Yeah,
it definitely helps the Patriots. If J.C. Jackson could, be the same guy he was with the Patriots, because he wasn't that guy with the Chargers last year. Took that step back. And maybe these guys be a product of Bill's system. We all know Bill's a great defensive mind. Stay tuned later because we're gonna talk a little bit about him, sneak peek. But these guys always come back to Bill.
I always say that with players, you got some great players that are great, period. But then you got players that, for some reason, that system doesn't fit. Probably too young, but that's this guy named, I can't remember his name. Asamoah. I can't remember his first name. I can't say it.
I remember for the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't. Yeah.
Asamoah. Something.
Oh, whatever. But Asamoah. But I remember he was like, when he was with the Raiders, he was the best corner that year. You know, nobody could. I think they threw the ball to maybe like 8 times, like 10, 12 times, something crazy, some crazy stat. And then the Eagles got him.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden he was trash. But was he trash? Nnamdi Asamoah. I think it was Nnamdi. But either or, was he trash or was it that system that just didn't work out for him? You know, so we'll see, because he excelled when he was with New England. That's why he got the deal. So I wonder if that was the reason. You know, when he go to the Los Angeles, you have all that talent. For some reason, you all can't come together. That don't make sense.
Stephon Gilmore reminds me of that, kind of like that too.
Yeah. Yep.
Just a defensive player of the year, like 4 years ago.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. Moving on, women's golfer from the LPGA, Lexi Thompson, received sponsor exemption into PGA's tour event. It's the Vegas event, and she's the 7th woman to play in the PGA event. So that's pretty dope, you know, to see her compete and see what she can do. Because, I mean, we're not sexist over here, you know what I'm saying? I just wonder if, I want her to do well. I mean, because golf, I feel like if you play golf, if you're good at golf, you can play. You know what I'm saying? You can play. You should be able to play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you wouldn't know because, boy, you was horrible at top golf. But anyway, the Super Bowl. But anyway.
Can't tell anybody that.
But it's dope. But I wonder if and hope that she does succeed, and whatever, man, and play for that. So that'd be good. Well. Yeah, and then last but not least, I think this is dope. In 2030, the Men's Soccer World Cup is set up to feature games in 6 countries on 3 different continents, in a format to celebrate the 100th anniversary in Uruguay. So that's dope, bro. Like, that's never been done before. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's like in 2024, I think it's going to be, or 26, it's going to be here in the United States. But what up, Alan? What up? But they're saying that it's going to be in 3 different continents. So I think that's pretty cool.
That is dope. I mean, it's the world sport. Runs the world. That is dope. And we see it getting more into, USA now. You got the best player in the world playing for America. So, yeah, it's a world sport.
Yeah. So that's real dope. Like I said,
we should have my boy Soundbite on standby.
Who?
The track runner. When he said it about the NBA.
Oh yeah. For real.
I would say the world.
Right. All right, man. So that wraps up quick hits. Just about to do a quick shout out. Have a quick shout out from some people, and then we're about to go in, man. Talk about a hot topic. This is Justin Fields. Y'all don't want to miss it. I'm about to spill my guts on this, y'all. Don't get mad if I get emotional, if I get biased, or whatever. Let it all out.
Hey, the 3 years we've been doing this, I don't think we've ever had the Bears as a hot topic. This is lucky
the kid, because I will put a certain finger up, but I'm not going to do that. So because I know you're trying to be funny, Rue. So I will put a certain finger up, but I'm not going to do it because just let's do these shots out real quick, and we'll be right back.
Yo, what's up? This is Grady Jarrett with the Atlanta Falcons.
This is Sean Alexander. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion. Let's go.
All right, we're back inside of 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and y'all see the hat I'm wearing, man. And right now, they probably got us the worst team in the NFL, or second worst team, according to the 3-point conversion senior writer, Ab Stanley. He got us as the second worst team in the NFL.
Being nice. Ab being nice.
I can't be mad at him. You think Carolina better than us?
No, I don't.
So here's the thing. So Justin Fields, y'all see what's going on with that mess. And I'll be honest. He hadn't played well, right? He hadn't played well the first
three
games, right?
3 games in a quarter.
Yeah. No, I'll say first 3 games, period. I think that quarter, it wasn't that last quarter.
Yeah, the last quarter of the last game.
I still think he was playing well. He stood.
Until the fumble. We'll get to it.
But either or. So, and I think first game, to me, it wasn't Justin Fields. He was thinking too much. It looked like it. Second game, first drive, we did well. He showed spurts in certain, drives. Okay, he looked good, but then no. And it wasn't just him, the offense, but still Justin. Third game against Kansas City, we got blown out. He couldn't even do anything. Whatever. But then his last game, stepped up, looked good. So threw for what? 335 yards, 28 of 35, 4 TDs, but he had an interception at the end of the game, and he had that fumble in the fourth quarter as well. There's been a lot of chatter, Rule. Everybody saying, first it was saying Justin he's not good, he's a bust, he's an Ohio State quarterback, all that good stuff. Then it got to the point where they were saying, after this game, certain people like, it's coaching, or game 3, it's coaching and all that good stuff. He even came out and alluded to coaching and whatever, right? You hear people saying, if you're watching right now, you'll see you have people talking about he need a fresh new start. They need to leave this coaching staff. A lot of stuff going on. I get it, But being a Bears fan, and I'm gonna talk as a Bears fan. At first, it was like, all right, Justin, come on, man. And I've said it on here, like, he's thinking too much. I feel like he's thinking too much. He's trying to be something that he's not. They need to let him play, let him be who he is, and he needs to stop putting pressure on himself and just play. Be instinctive. Game 3, we saw a little bit of it. Game 4, we saw it, right? It's just like he was free. But I will say he has to take a little bit of the blame because of that. But I also say with coaching, because I don't think coaching is called the right plays for him. I think then it was a certain point they was trying to, okay, we're going to call running plays. That's cool. But just let them play. You know what I'm saying? Let them play. The Bears are a mess right now. Last week was horrible for us with everything that was going on with Chicago. But should he get traded as a Bears fan? You don't want that because I still think it's a few more games. It's a long season. I want to see what he can do. But at the same time, you don't want him to sit here and waste his career. And I'm just being real. I don't want him to see him waste his career here. But at the same time, just looking at it from upper management. When Eberflus got the job, the GM Ryan Poles, he didn't get the chance to choose who he wanted. When he got hired, the Bears had already completed 2 rounds of interviews, and they was down with the final 3 of who they was going to pick, and they let him pick out of those 3. Whereas I think maybe if they get rid of Eberflus, now he can pick the coach that he wants and evaluates and maybe give Justin Fields a fresh start. Because I think with player personnel, I think they're building around Fields now. We got the offensive tackle, getting our line back. We got DJ Moore. They're trying to build on the defense, but we got running backs. It's like they're trying to build around him. It's going to take some time. It can't happen overnight. It can't. But at the same time, as a Bears fan, it's kind of like, all right, yeah, we could get Caleb Williams if we traded him or release him or what have you. But man, I still believe in Justin Fields, bro. I mean, what we saw Sunday, yeah, it was against the Denver Broncos. Everybody's having a good game, but I don't care who he played with. Besides, who they played against. Besides Miami, the Raiders, they didn't. The quarterback didn't throw for 4 touchdowns. Who else played Denver? Sam Howell didn't throw for 4 touchdowns. So Justin, it's something about Justin. You know what I'm saying? I still think he got it. My thing is, let's wait. It's too soon. Let's see how it happens. And if they don't win this game, I mean, then now the GM got to make decisions as far as coaching and everything. But Rue, I don't blame him all the way. I don't even blame the coaches all the way. But I just think sometimes I think he's just not with the right coaches. You know what I'm saying? He's not with the right scheme, or they're not using him, or they didn't start off using him like they should. And as we saw last year around Game 4, Game 5, matter of fact, when they played the Commanders on Monday night, that's when he started taking off. Then he went through this run where he was playing great. So, and they changed some things. So my thing is let's continue to see what happens. And instead of trying to trade him or say, let's trade him to Atlanta or trade, let's see what he does, man. It's only 4 games.
So you said something. You said too soon, man. It's right now. It's right now. This kid is broken. He's broken, mentally broken from the coaches, from everything since he's been in the league. Y'all about to be on, because I think y'all will lose tomorrow, on a 15-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
He doesn't think he can win at this point. We're talking about almost a full season now of losing games. Like, we're talking about the 08 Lions. Only a couple teams have lost 17 in a row, 16 in a row. This kid is broken. Got to get rid of him. And he's still worth something. I think he is. While it's hot.
Right.
Y'all have it's a light at the end of the tunnel with or without Justin Fields. Now I do think Justin Fields is a talent, but also with trying to get rid of him, it's sort of indirectly, saying y'all did a poor job as coaches. Because I think he, like, a talent like that is very coachable. If the first time you said it, the play calling is a mess. It's too simple. I think you should have a sort of a 49ers offense where you got motions and with just different things with that will help Justin Fields' skill set. I watched that game, the last game, and the first half he was rolling. It was like the comfortable Fields, but it's like the second half, coaches got too conservative.
Fourth quarter. Well, I don't even think you got. Wait, let me say this real quick.
I had a 9-minute drive. It led to a touchdown, but it's like something put them in that box that second half.
Baru, I don't even think we got conservative. I think the coaches kept going, and at that point, it was like, now you kind of, because we were up. So at this point, now we don't have to do these rollouts or do the plays that we kept doing. Like when he fumbled in the fourth quarter, that was a rollout that we kept doing. They were looking for that. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, as soon as he turned around, the guy's in his face, he fumbles. I think at that point, now we need to run the ball, play, like you said, a 40 minutes, still do motions and everything, but let's play to win. We don't have anything to prove. But go ahead. I just wanted to say that because that made me mad when we went that route.
It's like it's a tough situation for Justin Fields, and now you have wide receivers like Chase Claypool, who's not buying into it. I've seen it. Everybody plays a part of this. I'm not even gonna leave the defense out because I think the defense has sucked the confidence out of Justin Fields. The defense has given up 34 points a game dating back to last year. It's not good. It's funny because when y'all traded Roquan, it's sort of like that's when it all started. When you traded your best defender, I don't think y'all won a game since y'all traded Roquan. I think so. The defense plays a part of this. Justin Fields also plays a part of this because I've seen breakdowns in film this year so far. DJ Moore, Chase Claypool clapping their hands like, "Give me the ball," and it's not coming out of his hands. But I think that's also a product of coaching. and we 2 weeks ago, he called his coaches out, and I think he was being honest. I think he was being right. I think Justin Fields would be good with the right fit. Just Chicago's just a mess right now.
Yeah, and that's the part that's unfortunate with, like you stated it, with him losing, because you saw he was broken when they lost. And I don't even think he was necessarily broken because these coaches that messed it up. I think he was mad at himself.
Yeah.
Because he felt like he gave the game away. But we got to get a win somehow. Like if we don't get a win, you're right. It might have to be, let's get rid of him, or, which brings me to my next thing, get rid of the coaches. But here's the problem with getting rid of the coaches. And it's horrible what's going on. Defensive coach, he got in trouble for something. Like, so
yeah, they didn't mention
don't
that.
have him. Our offensive coordinator is Luke Getsy. It's his first, this is second year of being an offensive coordinator, but this is his first stint at being an offensive coordinator. I don't think he's ready. You can't bring in a coach in the middle of the season and you don't have a veteran assistant to say, hey, you take over. And anyway, I don't know if that's good for a quarterback like Justin. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's a catch-22 because if this guy is not bringing him on, if this coach is not leading him to victories and not making the right decisions, then it looks horrible. But let's say this. Luke Getsy, he called a great game last week as far as calls until the fourth quarter. Certain calls, it was like, but called a great game. Our defense, we playing two rookies at cornerback and a second-year player at safety because of injuries. Offensive line, we had injuries in the offensive line. We get a guy named Taylor Jenkins back, our best offensive lineman, back this week. So for this week, we finally have our offensive line that we wanted, to block for him. So it's been a lot of issues, just period, just a lot of things we had to deal with no matter what. But at the same time, when you go back to Justin Fields, like you said, it's like, okay, is it to the fact that we just got to get rid of him? Is what's best for him to help him out? Or is it too late to get rid of the coaches, whether it's next year and bring in somebody else? Because I got somebody who I would love to bring in as a coach. Guess who that is?
College?
No.
Oh, Eric B.
Of course.
Yeah.
You put Eric B. in.
No Rakim.
Yeah. You put no Rakim. Put Eric B. in his offense. Come on, man. With Justin. And you know what? I'm going to just leave it right there because I feel like this is part of something we're going to talk about later on. But like I said, I just think it's a sad situation. And I love the kid, man. It's to the point, like you said, it might be too late, bro. We might need to let him go. I don't want him to stay here because of that. And like Danny said, I don't think Atlanta's the answer to Fields. I just think he might not need to leave Chicago. Why don't we just get rid of the other coaches and keep him here? But let me ask you this, and I will end it with this. Do you think Justin follows up last game with a good game this game?
A lot is being put on Justin Fields, man. It's like almost like he has to be the hero for y'all to win. And I think that's unfortunate for him at this point in his career. It's like he has to be a superhero, man. I do think he has a good game. He had a good game had the best game of his career last game with the loss. 4 touchdowns, over 300. But I think that y'all O-line, so man, that can't keep up with that Washington D-line. I think D-line is going to put that pressure on Fields. Missing Claypool, you down a body. I know Claypool hasn't done much, but you are,
Claypool.
Really. But I think that Washington D-line wins the game. But I think Justin Fields shows, though. If you had Justin Fields in fantasy, you're a happy man. I think he still shows, look, I'm that guy. I do think he's still that talent. It's just a bad situation, though.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's a bad situation, man. Because I felt like that.
Yes.
I felt like that first game. I mean, that Tampa Bay game, we should have won. And of course, this last game we should have won. You know, but
yeah.
I mean, we'll see, man. So yeah, I'm with you, Aaron. Ooh, bum, whatever. So, well, all right, man. That wraps up. And I told you about Tampa Bay. I told y'all about Tampa Bay.
You
I don't
did.
know if you're still listening. He's a Tampa Bay fan. I told y'all.
Just give him a disclaimer. So before the year, I said Tampa would be the worst team in the league.
Yeah, and I told y'all that's a 10. They're gonna win 8 games, but I think that's a 10-win team right there. It's early, Eddie. And I know he's a Buccaneers fan, so I really take what he says. Like, I understand. I'm with him, but I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah,
they winning this division. They're gonna win this division. And they're only gonna get better, bro, because they learning. They're only gonna get better.
As long as Ritter's the quarterback for the Falcons, I agree.
Think about it. Which quarterback do you trust in a new system? You got Derek Carr. You got
who's never been in a new system.
Right. Derek Carr. You have Mayfield. You got Ritter, and then you got the rookie in Carolina. Who I trust Mayfield with them boys that he got. You see what I'm saying? I trust them.
Yeah.
So, and their defense is real. Like Ed said, defense is real. You're right, Ed. So that's why I think they're gonna win 10 games. That's all I gotta say. But hey, let's transition, man. College football. You know how we like to do. I'm gonna let you go first. We can do the nosy neighbor watch in college football this week. What is your nosy neighbor?
Man, my nosy neighbor. I think I haven't been watching this team this year. Well, I haven't been on my nosy neighbor watch. I've been watching them, but they ain't been on the watch. Man, Saturday I'm back peeking out the blinds, and I'm going over to the Red River rivalry, aka the Red River shootout. I'm looking at Texas, man, because I think you're gonna pose a question in a minute, and I'm gonna kind of break it down. But I'm loving what I see from Texas this year. I might just answer it now. Offensively and defensively, to this point, Texas is the best team in college football. And I'm a diehard Georgia fan, but offensively and defensively, I think Texas is more put together than us right now. But this is a rivalry game. This is in Oklahoma. This is one of the ones, man. I think Quinn Ewers has the confidence with that Alabama win. I think that Alabama win was huge for Ewers because it gave him the confidence, sort of finished the job. We saw how he was up on them last year, got hurt. But I want to see a convincing win from Texas. I do think they win, but I want to see a convincing win. I don't want to see them old River shootouts where it's 48-44.
Yeah.
I want to see the defense too. I'm looking at the whole Texas, not just yours. I'm looking at Texas defensively. Right. Y'all have been stout. Hey, y'all haven't been allowing anything. So I want to see that same defense from Texas. So I'm looking at Sarkisian and the boys. Second test of the year.
My nosy neighbor watch. I'm kind of being nosy with two people, so it's like I got two neighbors. So I'm looking over here. Then I'm opening the blinds, peeking, looking over there. I got somebody looking at this house, and I'm looking at this house, and we're switch.
Got cameras out.
First, Georgia Tech and Miami. For two reasons. First of all, Miami's undefeated. They're 4-0. Miami's look good this year. We talked to Armstrong this year, the quarterback for Miami. He told us,
Brandon.
Brandon, he told us, right? Sat there and told us, I got a new focus. I put too much and was too serious last year. Now I'm just playing and having fun.
Tyler Van Dyke.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Van Dyke. Brandon played for Virginia Tech last year, or Virginia, But yeah, Van Dyke, I'm sorry. But Van Dyke, he told us that, right?
Yeah.
And you see it. But this Georgia Tech team, yeah, you might say they ain't really play nobody, but what they did last week to go on the road and be the undefeated team, this is still not your typical Georgia Tech game. And it seemed like the game that they get counted out on, that's when they play their best. So I'm wondering if Miami's going to lay down or think, oh, this is just Georgia Tech, whatever. And then Georgia Tech get that, you know what? We're going to show the world that we for real. I wonder what's going to happen in that game. And then definitely the Kentucky game, the Kentucky UGA. UGA made a big statement when they beat who was the big game they played?
You said Georgia? Oh, they just played Auburn.
Auburn. Well, Auburn, right.
South Carolina earlier in the year.
Well, I won't say big game, but they played, formidable team. Kentucky's a good team. And I just wonder, no, they played Tennessee, Georgia. They played Tennessee when they beat Tennessee. But
last year?
This year. Was it Tennessee? Georgia played Tennessee.
No, we beat South Carolina.
Tennessee.
We beat South Carolina and Kentucky. Kentucky, Auburn.
Who beat Tennessee this year? When didn't Georgia play?
Florida. Florida beat Tennessee.
I could have sworn y'all played Tennessee this year. Played Tennessee.
We played them in November.
Y'all played Tennessee early this year. Remember, that was the first big game.
No, that was South Carolina, bro. Spencer Rattler.
Hold on. You sure?
No, hey, I follow my dogs. You talking to a dog hard.
So who was it? Okay, so who played Tennessee? Was it Alabama?
Florida played Tennessee. They beat Tennessee in Florida.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's right. It was Auburn. I'm sorry. It was Auburn. My bad. It was Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn last week.
It was Auburn because they had a black quarterback, right? Nice.
I think I just made a new term though. Dog hard. I need to go copyright that.
No, it was Auburn. I'm sorry, Auburn, and they came back, played well in the second half, right?
Yeah.
But I still don't think that Auburn team was good as Kentucky, and I still don't think Georgia has been tested. So I kind of want to see what Georgia's going to do when they get punched in the mouth by a team that can hold up. Because we haven't seen Georgia's best game, but at the same time, is Georgia going to bring that game where they're going to blow out this Auburn team? I mean, not Auburn, but this Kentucky team, So I kind of want to see what happens to that. I think this will give us to how good Georgia is. Because they have an easy schedule this year, right? We all know that. We said it. But this might be their toughest challenge, man. I don't believe in Tennessee. So I think this might be their toughest challenge. So I want to see what happens in this game. So basically, I'm looking at both Georgia teams and see if they're going to be able to show up and prove whether, hey, we're this good, or prove, hey, we're better than what y'all think we are. So that's my nosy neighbor, which leads me to the next question, Drew. And you kind of answered it. The best team in college football. You think it's Texas?
Yeah, right now I do think it's Texas, but it's close. I think Washington is also damn good. They have the offense. They putting up best offense in the country, and their defense is stingy. They definitely had the best wide receiver trio in the country. But yeah, their defense is stingy. Then I think the Dogs are great too, because I don't think we've played our best game, but we're talking about right now. I don't think the Dogs are playing the best right now. I do think it's Texas. I think it's Texas, and I want them. That's why they're on my nosy neighbor watch, because I'm vouching for them on Wednesday. I need them to show up on Saturday, and prove why I'm saying all this, because I think they're the most complete this year. Quinn Ewers is a beast, man.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. But I want to ask you, when it comes to Michigan, do you believe that Michigan is that good? Because they haven't played anyone either. And they don't really play anyone until they play Ohio State. And I think they might play Penn State.
Penn State. Yeah, Penn State's going to be the first test. It's going to be the first test. And in that matchup, that's going to be the first matchup for Michigan where I think they go into it without the best quarterback. Because JJ McCarthy, man, it's the same guy who threw 3 picks the week before last. I think it was Bowling Green, and Bowling Green did get it done against Georgia Tech this weekend. But I think that was Bowling Green. But I think Michigan is gonna go as far as JJ McCarthy takes them, man, because he's got it. They've gotten it done the past 2 years against Ohio State. I just don't. I'm just not sold on this guy. I'm sold on the defense. I'm sold on the line. Sold on the run game. It's just when JJ has to go out and win it, I'm not all that sure. Penn State's quarterback is pretty good, and I think they have a just as complete defense as Drew Aller is his name. He's coming to me. Drew Aller, Penn State's quarterback. And I think their defense is just as complete with the two running backs they have over there. That's gonna be the first big test for Michigan. I'm, I they could easily be on my nosy neighbor watch, but they don't play anybody until the Penn State game. So we'll see.
Do you think
I don't
that?
think they're the number 2 team in the country though.
Yeah, because they haven't played anyone. I
Right.
think they fit along with Georgia. Now the thing is, Georgia's kind of look like y'all don't look good.
Yeah.
But again, Michigan hadn't played.
I wouldn't be mad if they had Texas number 1. They had FSU number 2.
Now see, FSU, I don't believe they're the best team, but what I like about FSU is they've been tested.
Right.
And they battle back. They got a battle-tested quarterback to get injured and come back in the second half.
On the road, both games.
On the road and win. Yeah, like that's huge. But I'm gonna tell you another team that you might not want to hear this, but another team that I think now is looking like they're starting to creep up and be that team where, hey, we better watch out for this team. And I think it's roll tide, man. I think Alabama, man, I think they're starting to hit a stride. That quarterback is getting confidence. They're starting to look more like an Alabama team. I think, what's the coach from Ole Miss? I'm looking down Kiffin. I think he woke up a sleeping giant.
Mm.
And I think when he woke up that sleeping giant, I think now you're starting to see Alabama play the way that we're accustomed to seeing Alabama play. So I think in the future, watch out for them. But as like you said, for right now, I got Texas. I got Florida State next. I might put Oregon in number 3.
I'm sort of not sold on their resume so far, but yeah. But you said something about Alabama. They got a tough one this weekend at Texas A&M. I really wish that was one of the games we picked for our college little pick'em, but it's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna say I think Texas A&M wins this game Saturday in College Station, Texas. So I'm not sold on Alabama just yet. I'm not.
I'll say this, if Alabama comes out and they beat them like they stole something,
their confidence would be an all-time high. I will say that.
I'll say you watch out.
Quarterback.
I'm like you though. This game could be, if it's one team,
Make it or break it.
Yeah, yep. I feel like it, bro. So I'm definitely with you, man. I'm definitely with you. Well, look, we're about to take get some more shouts out, man. And hey, we're about to have some fun now. Like I said, we get to talk about what's on our mind and what we want to think about uninterrupted. So stay tuned, man. Y'all don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Earl Campbell.
Hey, it's Chuck the Iceman Liddell.
This is Emmett Smith, and you're listening to 3 Point Conversion.
All right, Rue. This is what we like to call What's on My Mind, and this is a time where we each get a chance to really talk about what we feel. I don't like to call it venting and anything like that, but we just get some stuff off our chest, whether it's something personal in sports, something we don't like, something we love, something that's funny, whatever. But it's time to go in and we get to talk about what's on our mind, just everything that's going on. We talked about Justin Fields, right? And we talked about how with Justin, he's getting all that flack, right? Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's getting on him. Everybody wants to, even Bears, I can't stand Bears fans that aren't real football fans, Rue. I can't. But yet still, I think about how he's getting criticized, or he was getting criticized about he's not that player, he's not good. What's going on with him? See, he's a bust. He needs to get traded. They need to let him go. Let's start the backup guy. All of that good stuff. They're the worst team in football. They had a top for the worst record in football, right? Why are we not talking about Joe Burrow like this? You can say, okay, Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl. He went to the AFC Championship again the next year. I don't care. What is he doing now? We can say, oh, it may be because of his injury to his calf. But he's playing horrible. No one is talking about that. No one has said anything about how bad he is. The quarterback in New York for the Jets. No one is talking about how bad he's playing. Now, true enough, he was thrown in there, but he's playing horrible. Why are we talking about him like that? I mean, now people say he suck, but yeah, still, anybody saying, okay, Zach is playing, they need to let Zach go. He's horrible. No one's saying anything about that. Daniel Jones, same thing. And now, again, I'm not saying these quarterbacks suck or they're bad, because you can say for Burrow, he didn't have any training camp. He's still probably dealing with the calf injury. Okay. You can say for Zach, well, he was thrown in when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and he wasn't ready. He's trying to get acclimated to the team. He probably didn't take any first team reps. I get it. Daniel Jones got the worst offensive line in the NFL, right? Playing horrible and everything. You can use all those excuses. But why we aren't using those same excuses for Justin Fields? And I'm not just saying it because I'm a Bears fan. The difference is what I see, and we keep it real. We tell the truth, shame the devil. One's white, or three are white. One is black. Why aren't we giving everyone else the same business that we give Justin Fields? And yes, we have like 50%, almost 50% of the NFL quarterbacks, starting NFL quarterbacks, are black, right? Almost 50%. We've never seen this in the NFL. Great, we're moving up, but yet still, one plays bad, they get criticized like no other. Now, Dak, you play for the Dallas Cowboys. You always gonna get criticized. They criticize Tony Romo like this. So you just met in a messed up situation. It ain't even had nothing to do with you. It's Dallas Cowboys. But every other black quarterback you play bad, they get on. They talk about. You get slandered. Oh, bench him. Now again, Joe Burrow, he's shown us what he can do. But yet still, he's playing horrible. He doesn't get criticized. Jets quarterback, he's not getting criticized. He hasn't shown us anything. I mean, except for Rodney Harrison, which Rodney Harrison was bogus for that. I don't know if you saw that with Rodney Harrison.
Yeah.
That was bogus for that. You don't do that. He should get reprimanded for that.
Chris Jones, yeah.
Y'all don't know. He on national TV interviewing Chris Jones on NBC Sunday night. Come on, man. When you saw this video, when you saw his tape, you knew he was garbage. I mean, are you surprised at how bad he is that he did this? And Chris Jones, hey, man, he's a good quarterback. He did this, he did whatever, he's talented. Come on, be real. Chris Jones, you know he's garbage. You can't tell me you don't do that. I mean, he garbage, but you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But still, besides Rodney Harrison, no one else is getting on him. Daniel Jones just signed his big contract, and we still don't hear anyone talking about Daniel Jones like Justin Fields is getting it everywhere else. Now, again, you have some people saying they feel sorry for the kid, especially after last week. But I'm just saying you always see this as a trend that your skin color we're still not there. And it's going to take some time. We're still not there. It's going to take some time, but we still see this as a trend. We still see it. And I'm sick of it, Rue. It's not right. It's not fair. We need to talk about this. We need to tell the truth and shame the devil. And it's messed up, man. And that's what's on my mind.
Cool, man. Hey, get it all out. This is the place to get it all out, brother. My what's on my mind, man. It's sort of what we were just talking about. I think I mentioned both these cats while we've been on the show. That's Bill Belichick and Nick Saban. The two best at their profession. Best college coach ever, best professional coach ever. But who's in more trouble? Who do you think? Because I think they both in some trouble. So that's what's on my mind. It's like sort of a changing going on, taking place right now, right before our eyes between these two guys. Nick Saban, I don't think is the Nick Saban or has the team he had in the last decade. Same thing with Brady since Brady's gone. Bill has not, been successful. And I was thinking about this. I'm wondering, like, who's in more trouble? Like, I think it's a broad question, but I think they are both in trouble, especially with recruiting, NIL. We can start with Saban. Cats are going where the money at. It's not like it used to be, where you could, just automatically sell a player. Look, championship, bowl, first round, second round, guaranteed. Guys going to, feed their families now, and it's changing with recruiting, everything, transfer portal, all that. I think that's something he has to catch up with. You move over to Bill. I think Bill is a great defensive coach. I think he's one of the best defensive coaches. I'm not sure how good of an offensive coach he is, and I really think that's starting to hurt the Patriots. I think, and I don't know if he ever will. I think if Bill Belichick was to go to defensive coordinator, and I'm not saying it will happen, it probably would never happen, and get more of an offensive-minded coach, or just hire an offensive-minded coach, a young McDaniel, like so many teams did before. I think it would help. How much of this is Robert Kraft gonna keep up with? The losing, because it's coming. Mac Jones is awful to me. It's not working. You all cut Malik Cunningham in the preseason, who I thought would, if you could do some, he's sort of the new quarterback now. You got that dual quarterback who has an arm. You can work with that, but you go back to the Mac Joneses and the Bailey Zapps of the world. It's looking bad, and it's a change. That's what's on my mind today. How long? Who do you see? I'll ask you this: who do you see leaving first, or retiring first, or calling it quit?
That's tough. Belichick is older, I believe. Belichick is Saban's mentor, but at the same time, with college football, if you start losing recruits, I believe that, and it's shifted. We've seen so many college football coaches that were great. We almost seeing it now with Clemson. And it shifts where, all right, well, let's not go there anymore. They're not, because Florida
they ain't popping no more.
Florida State is back now, but Florida State had it for a while in the 90s, and after a while, it was just like, and that's what made your boy retire. With Notre Dame, it was like that. Bobby Bowden. It was like that with Notre Dame. It was like that with Miami. So it's a lot of schools that happened to where it's like they're not hot right now. Let's go somewhere else. Especially when you got Dion and you got USC and you got all these, different climates and everything. Who doesn't want to go to USC? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's hot and nice. Who doesn't want to go play under Dion where you got celebrities and stars there and everything? So I'm saying Texas right now too. So
yeah,
I can see Saban retiring, but like your boy say, not so fast, my friend, because I still think Alabama is looking. If they win against Texas A&M and they blow them out, they stay right there. But let me say this though, You know what I think the problem is with the Patriots? I believe it's Brady, but not just because it was Brady the reason why. Not just because Brady was that good and Bill Belichick can't coach or his offensive coordinators can't coach. This is the difference, and this is where New England has to change. New England is so used to, and they were so I don't want to say lucky, but they were able to take advantage of. Hey, if you're good for 2 straight years, we're about to trade you. We're about to release you because all we need is Brady and maybe a good tight end or a good something. That's it, and a great defense. They've been on that for a while now. The only time where they have superstars is when they didn't win a championship. And that's when you had Randy Moss, Wes Welker, and that, a whole bunch of offensive players that were good.
So basically what you're saying is Judon is next to go.
Well, they can't afford it. They can't afford it.
Right.
Basically, and I think now it's catching up. When you have Brady, you can do that. You don't have to pay these offensive players. You don't have to have a superstar player, a big-time offensive player, and you can still win a championship. You can't do that without Brady. So they're trying to do this with Mac Jones. Who was he throwing to?
Devontae Parker.
Come on. Who? So it's a difference in having Brady and then having a whole bunch of players that are like subpar, decent, pretty good, versus you have Mac Jones, but you got these subpar, decent, maybe pretty good. That's not going to cut it, bro. It's not. Vince says, Juju, stop it. You know what I'm saying? And I know he don't mean it like that, but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
He's not going to – you need a big-time player. Look at all these teams winning.
Right.
KC still had Kelsey, and they struggling. Miami, look who they have. Look who Buffalo has. 49ers got Debo. McCaffrey, you have to have these special players, and the Patriots don't have it. That old philosophy they were running with is not going to work. And I think that's what's causing them to be what they are now. You understand? So, Great take, man. Great what's on my mind, man. We're going to start doing this more like each week. Had that what's on my mind early. Let you speak your mind and speak my mind. So, speaking of minds, you know what time it is, though, right? What?
Yeah.
It is now time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it. All right, man. So, I'm going to go first. I'll go first. So, my Stop It moment is, first of all, I apologize to Matt Eberflus because remember I gave him a stop it for when he said the offense is almost there. He said after that Kansas City blowout, he said the offense is right there. I believe it.
Yeah.
He wasn't lying because Herbert had a 100-yard day, and we saw what Justin did. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't knock that. But my stop it goes to Aaron Rodgers.
He did some other things this week. I want to hear this.
Aaron Rodgers said that he believes he still can return this season. That's what he's going to do, return and play this season.
Stop it.
Stop it.
He tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
And you believe you're going to play this? No. And how old is he?
Almost 40. 39, 38.
And you believe you're going to play?
Stop
Come
it.
on, man.
Boy, weekend
Stop.
warrior.
Yeah. It's not going to happen, bro. That's not happening, bro. So, yeah, he gets my stop it, man.
That's a 10-month at least.
Right.
I done tore mine before, so I know. But, yeah, that's a good one. Man, my stop it goes out to Marlon Man. If y'all don't know who Marlon Man is, just Google him. It's a pretty famous guy who's a big super Marlins fan. And he goes to all the and see that he wears the same orange jersey, like the first jersey they made when they came out. You know, the first one is bright orange.
Right.
They done changed jerseys 10 times since then.
Right.
But he rocks the original. And he's known for going to big events. All the big events, the World Series. You might see him at an NBA game. You might see him anywhere at a big event with the same orange jersey and the orange hat. He's so popular, they even put him in on the video game. When you play MLB, you can see him sometimes. You posting, you can see him right there. He sits right behind the dugouts, the umpire. So you see him. He getting my stop it this week because Marlon Man has been at the Milwaukee Brewers and Arizona Diamondbacks series since Monday. He's been in Milwaukee since Monday, sitting right there on TV. You can see him. You turn on ESPN right now. You can see him. Wow, the Miami Marlins are actually playing in Philly. You get a big stop it, brother, because
why are you doing that?
You telling me you too shook to go to Philly
Hold on.
and represent your team?
Stop it.
In front of those crazy
Stop
fans,
it.
you probably should be scared.
Stop it.
But nah, he that's a punk move, man.
Yeah,
How you
that
with
is,
Milwaukee
That is, bro.
with the
How you
orange
gonna do that?
jersey on? Y'all turn to ESPN right now for me. You'll see Marlon, man. He's in Milwaukee when the Phillies are playing on ABC.
Yeah.
His team. You're supposed to be representing, man. Like you it's a sea full of red out here, but you're supposed to be a Marlon, man.
You tripping. So let's go ahead and Alan saying Aaron smoking, talking about Aaron Rodgers smoking.
Yeah.
He got a special pack. That's what Brandon talking about Aaron Rodgers. Vince says, my stop goes to all the fantasy owners who picked up Zach Wilson off waivers this week. Why? You really think he'll get a W?
I get a stop it. I get a stop it. I'm thinking about starting them this week. Honestly, I'm thinking about it. My team is loaded, so I can do that. But I
ain't gonna lie. I think I went after him because we played two quarterbacks and both my quarterback got by, so I had to.
I'm gonna try to start the team. I don't know if y'all can
really. We can't see it because your house is so good. It blends, But yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. So hey, let's transition, man, to the NBA, man. I want to talk about the Hawks Media Day. I was there at Media Day, I covered it, and first of all, I love Trae Young, man. I'm gonna tell you why I love Trae Young. And I think Atlanta fans should love Trae Young. So shout out to my guy, Terrell. My guy Terrell from These Urban Times. And Terrell asked him a question about, what did he think about the trade to, as far as the East, what he was saying, what do you think about the East getting better, with trades that happen and so on, right? And how do you feel about that? Trey was like, well, honestly, I understand, yeah, it probably got better. He's like, but I really don't care. He's like, I don't care about no other team but mine. I mean, I feel like we can win, and I don't care about them. I mean, I'm just focused on me. It's what they did, whatever. They still got to go through us. We got to play them and whatever. So I feel like we can beat anybody. I'm ready to play anybody. Basically, he was like, man, F that trade. That's what it sounded like he said, right? You asked DeJounte. DeJounte said the same thing. Like, I mean, it was a good trade, but I believe in my boys. I like what we did. I like the pickups we had. And I feel like we're going to be ready. And, I feel like we top 4 team in the East. When he said that, I almost gave him a stop it then on the mic, but I didn't when he said that. But I love the fact that he believed in that. You know what I'm saying? That's what he believes in. I think Atlanta got the right coach. Because I'm going to tell you the difference. Shout out. I love Nate. Nate is my guy. And then, the other coach, what's his name? Good Lord. Other coach before Nate that got fired. Golly.
Lloyd Pierce.
Huh?
Lloyd Pierce.
Yeah, LP. I'm tripping. LP. It's my guy. You know, every time LP see me, show me love on Facebook. She always tries to be watching now. Always, you know, good guy, cool. But what both of those coaches aren't, that Quinn is very detailed. Quinn, you can tell Quinn really is, he loves basketball, but he's detailed.
I was gonna say white.
He's stupid. He's stupid. But Quinn, he don't act it. But anyway, Quinn, he's very detailed. He knows what he wants. He'll break a play down. Like when he was just talking about last year, how he was breaking it down. You do this, you do that, and see if you have the guy come here. Well, last year you asked the same question, Nate, about Nate. What do you like about your team, and how do you feel? Well, you know, we got Trey, and he's going to be good, and we got a couple of players, and we're doing great. And I just feel like with continuity, we're going to be good. Whereas when they asked Quinn was breaking it down like, no, we got this, we got that. And see, when you run this play here, you got him on the pick and roll. But see, it can't happen if the guy on another. I mean, he was just breaking it down, and all the players said the same thing. It looks like Quinn has these players' attention, and that they're excited about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen Trey. Trey is always competitive, but I never seen Trey this focused like this. You know what I'm saying? And then it's the first time where you get to see both these players, DeJounte and Trey, play together for a full season with the same coach. You know, hopefully, like I said, nothing happens to them. But so, I mean, they just look like a different team. The way they talk, they're starting to act like Quinn. You know, as far as they broke down plays and they, you know, it just wasn't, we want to go out there and we want to win and we're good. No, it's a different vibe with these cats, man. And I think that's what I took from it. And I feel like we might see something different, Rue. You know what I'm saying? Because we saw in Utah how successful Quinn was, and that Joker's team to me wasn't even that good. I mean, player personnel wise, like it was like they not. He had one of them teams where you're like, yo, they not that good, man. These Jokers not that good because you're looking at who they got on the team, but they were good. I feel like the Hawks are gonna be the same way.
Yeah,
I do. So I really I just want to see. I think going into the season, now that Quinn has his assistant coaches there, because remember he was coaching with Nate's assistant coaches, but now he's bringing his own coaches. Now they've had a summer with them. I'm just ready to see how they play. I think you're a Hawks fan. I think you might see something different.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not as excited as I was last year, of course. Even with the moves, John Collins being gone, I just don't think we got better this offseason. But we'll talk about it more as the season continues to get here this month.
But you know what? You're right. But I think the difference was you might have had personnel-wise, but I don't think the coaching was there.
Right.
Like, Nate wasn't a X's and O's coach. Nate wanted to preach defense, but Nate, he couldn't even relate to the guys.
Right. Coaching wise, I'm confident. It's personnel wise, I just see this kind of same team. I don't see any improvement. Like you said, the East is getting better. I'm gonna hold my take. You know, I'm gonna assess the situation a little more.
Let me ask you this though. Even with the same team, but if you got a different coach with a different philosophy who can coach, don't you think the results can be better still?
Still, the pieces, though, I still think we're like
when they measure up to everyone else. You saying player wise? I got you.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, do you think Drew Holiday and the boys have they taken the number one spot in the Eastern Conference?
Yes. Serious business right there. Yes. Anybody that says don't, I guess they just Greek's #1 fan because Boston is the #1 team. I mean, they basically traded Marcus Smart for Drew. You get KP in there. We can't forget about Porzingis. See how he looks with those guys. He's a scorer, and that's one thing Boston hasn't had, in my opinion, is that big man who can really score the ball like from all areas. We haven't seen that. I mean, Al Horford it's Al Horford, but KP is, I think it'll fit right in with him. Boston's the #1 team. Another year under their coach. I like Boston as being the #1 team. Drew Holiday is a huge pickup.
Yeah, that's huge because he brings a different mentality. Like, look, I love Marcus Smart because Marcus Smart was a grinder. Marcus Smart did everything you needed him to do. He was Defensive Player of the Year, but I think the way they play defense is totally different. Marcus Smart is going to get you charges. Marcus Smart is going to dive for the ball. He's going to create, he's going to get in your face, do all that good stuff, do all that stuff that no one else wants to do. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like with Drew can guard somebody straight up from the point guard to small forward. Like, I'm going to get you 27 feet from the basket. What's up? What you going to do? Like, Steph Curry is great, and no one can really guard him. But if there's one person in the league that could guard him, it's Drew Holiday. Because we know Drew Holiday is physical. And, I mean, he's just a sound player. But not only that, scoring-wise, he can come over 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see both Jalen and Jason have bad games. But let's say if it happens, or let's say if one of the games is off, you're going to see Drew Holiday take over a game. He can do that as well. And I just think with that championship pedigree, like you said, with all those weapons they have, man, now the big loss is losing Williams.
Yeah, but
big loss.
He wasn't healthy the past 2 seasons when they really needed it to be. That's true. But that still was a big loss. But yes, still, like I said, I love that trade. Now you look at it's aggressive. No, I'll say it's aggressive, that move.
But you look at Milwaukee, as like I said, man, last week, it's just hard. I just wonder how they work together. And then you have Griffin as a defensive-minded coach, and Adrian Griffin. So with that offense, and he gets everybody in that right position, you still got a 3-headed monster also offensively with Middleton, because now he'll be healthy. Of course, Giannis and Dame. But this is the first time that Giannis has somebody where they can take over a game. Chris could take over a game, Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
He saw him in the playoffs.
Yeah, he can.
But not to the point where all game you cannot stop him. Like something where you can't stop him. Because he's going to open up. Middleton is going to open up Giannis. It's going to open up Portis.
Brooke, especially, too.
Oh, yeah.
He lives on the outside nowadays.
That's right. So, I think Boston is might be the better team overall. I'm just worried about, now I'm on a bandwagon. Is Jason going to step up, man? Yep. What Tatum going to do? Is he going to be able to come in and play consistently through the playoffs and not fold? Because I think it's mentally now with him now. With all the talk and chat, I think it's mentally with him. I want to also talk about Harden. You see Harden decided to come back to practice today.
Yeah, man. Hard to get on my nerves with all this, man. All this drama just to show up to practice.
Yeah, because I don't think he should have showed up. If that's how you know.
Exactly. No, you got to stand on it. And I think it was sort of getting close because I kept hearing reports. Well, not reports that something was going down, but I know Woj tweeted on it like Harden just yesterday Harden's still frustrated that he didn't get traded to the Clippers. So I think he sort of stood on it. Now you show up to practice. Maybe I don't know. We don't know. Maybe nobody wants him for real, but
But do you think he showed up because he was worried about?
He showed up looking fit too, though. If you noticed that,
Yeah. But do you think it was one of the things like, all right, I don't want to send this message that he's a cancer to the team, and we shouldn't? Do you think it's one of them, or to say, hey, I'm gonna stay in shape? Do you think it's one of those, or
he could be trying to save face?
so that he can get traded, so a team will say, all right, we do want him.
Yeah, and look what I just said. He looked good. Like he didn't show up with the bodysuit. So he did lead the league in assists last year. We talking about James Harden right now. Still, top 15 player in the NBA. So
okay, Bruce. So I'm gonna let you go at it now. I want you to talk about the Falcons, man, and is it time for Heineke to step in, and why?
I think it is. I definitely think it is. I didn't like what Arthur Smith said Monday. He said no. He said we're not making a change. Like everything's all good, because it's not. And if he watched the film, the last 2 games, he would see why it's not all good. Defense is showing up. Defense is playing hard. We got a top 10 defense right now. I know it's only 4 games, but defense is holding teams. They're doing everything they can do. It's the quarterback. It's a quarterback issue, man. We got a sitting duck at quarterback. I couldn't believe I'll be saying this right now. Because I was so excited, man, to start the year. 2-0, let's go. And even in that Green Bay game, I saw flaws. Since game 1, I've been seeing flaws with Ritter. But it was only like, how long can Arthur Smith hide it? Can't hide it anymore. Can't hide it anymore, Arthur Smith. It's only going to get worse as we get more film on Ritter. From the start of the game in London, Ritter was making mistakes. He was scrambling when he didn't have to. First thing he was doing, I noticed sometimes, was looking to run when he wasn't even reading the reads. We saw the back-to-back picks. One was the pick 6, just awful. Just why would you even throw it there? We have no downfield passing game. How can you even play in the league nowadays with no downfield passing game? Everything's 5 to 10 yards or a run. Arthur Smith, he needs a quarterback, man. Like, he even tried to hide Mariota last year. The same type of offense. He tried to. It's just.
Do you think that he's one of the ones, because he brings his persona, like, I'm gonna stick with it just to make you all look like, you all are not that y'all are right and I'm wrong with the decision. Like, it's just to be stubborn, because that's what it seems like he's doing.
Yeah, it does. I mean, until we, this weekend's game, Sunday's game is a big game for Ritter. I do think he pulls Ritter if we go out here and, Stroud looks like he's been looking 5th game ever. He's looking like a franchise quarterback. If they come here and smack us around, I do think Ritter does not show up, does not look good. Looks like he's been looking the last 2-3 games. I do think he pulls them because I think he'll be pressured by the fan. The fan base is out on Ritter. Like, the fan base, Ritter has lost the fan base.
But we've seen Heineke take the Washington Commanders when they were down and out to the playoffs.
Right.
He looks like a good quarterback, because pretty soon you're gonna have not Drake London, but Kyle Pitts say he's gonna do a Claypool.
Right, and we saw Matt Collins do this in London. I don't know if you saw the video where he tried to go over there after the pick and dap up Matt Collins, our receiver. Matt Collins stood up on him and got in his face. Like, bro, don't come at me asking for no dap. Did you see that? I gotta send it to you, bro. I gotta send it to you. Like,
hey, that's the homie too.
Right.
He the homie for the 3-point conversion. That's the homie. But yeah,
he's like, bro, you better back up. Like, and he lost. It looks like Ritter has lost the team. Honestly, it was like This is not the same team that came back on Green Bay and that was just 2 weeks ago.
Right.
This has been it's been a terrible 2 weeks for Ritter.
Right. All right. So, I mentioned last week. I mentioned last week. I did mention it last week, but barely. But I talked about it in the first segment, the hot topic, when we talked about what? Justin Fields. And I was saying that if the Bears would bring in Eric B, without Rakim, as you mentioned, Eric Bieniemy. So I don't think this is getting enough press. Certain people are saying it. I've been saying it. I said at the beginning of the season, you're going to see. But you notice that Washington Commanders are looking good. They scored 30 again against the Eagles defense. I don't think no one scored that much against the Eagles this year. I came close to that. Meanwhile, Kansas City is averaging 2.3 points per game. This is a team with Kelsey, a healthy Kelsey, and it's not working. Which brings me back to like we were talking about when you was talking about what's on your mind when I talked about Belichick. You can't have a subpar quarterback with subpar players and think it's going to work. It's not Brady. You can't have a team, even if you got Kelsey, you can't have a team with Kelsey and then subpar wide receivers without a great offensive coordinator. First of all, Matt Nagy is the worst coordinator. I don't care. The worst coordinator in the league. I know he was a Bears coach. Worst coordinator in the league. But when you don't have Bieniemy, and people was like, oh, it's the coach. It's Andy Reid who's calling the plays. I told y'all it's not Andy Reid. Andy Reid even said it was Bieniemy then. You see the difference, right?
Yeah.
Why aren't we talking about this more? Why isn't this being pushed to the light? This is a coach that he can't get a head coaching job.
Yeah.
Oh, it was under Andy Reid. That's what they're using. Now you see what he's doing with Washington, who basically had the same squad with a second-year quarterback, and you look at the best quarterback in the league with the best tight end in the league, and they're averaging 17 points a game. A 10-point drop-off. What's going on? I'm telling you, this needs to be pushed out and put out. It's Bieniemy. He was the driving force. After every time he came off the field, what did you see Pat Mahomes do? Go to Bieniemy. Who was he talking to? Bieniemy. He wasn't talking to Andy Reid. He was talking to Eric B.
Right.
Now, you don't see that. I'm telling y'all, he is the driving force. He was the driving force to that offense. And he's probably between him, I still think he's the best offensive coordinator. Because I don't know if the coach for Miami.
Yeah, I was gonna say Miami Dan's a good mind.
James, I don't know if he can do that, but I don't know if he can do that without a Tyreek Hill and Waddle. We seen Bieniemy do it without Tyreek Hill last year with subpar wide receivers. They won the championship Super Bowl, and they still was scoring 27 a game. Because he had to adjust, because he don't have that home run hitter. And he adjusted. Bieniemy did. I don't know if McDaniels could do that. McDaniels could call some plays, but either or, we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, because we too busy talking about Taylor Swift. She just stole the show the past 2 weeks. She's all we talking about.
Right.
Yeah, but no, you're right. I think as Washington continues to look better on offense, they had the game where it was the Bills, but that was the one-off. They really didn't look right. I think as they continue to show that they, are better, I think we're gonna start talking more about Eric B. But Taylor Swift got the football world in a headlock right now.
Yeah, and I mean, And I don't even think that's the reason why they're losing. Like you said, that's why nobody talking about Eric B. But
I also think that's why people might not be talking about the Chiefs scoring all these points anymore. I don't know. It just seems like it's just Swift mania.
They're not. They're not doing it. We need to speak on it more.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think that it's getting enough pub, and it's showing that Bieniemy was that driving force, and he needs a head coaching job, which I think, believe it or not, that's why I hope we get him. I'm nervous because I feel like Bieniemy is going to take over for Ron Rivera next year in Washington. I believe that's why he brought him over. That's why he was able to lure him in, is because you're going to have him as that next head coach. Why Magic there and the new ownership and all of that. I just feel like, and they've always believed in it. I don't think they're, was that tight where it's like, we can't have him. I don't think they believe. Well, we don't know, but they might not be the that upper management that like we don't want to hire Bieniemy as a head coach. I don't know. It might not be that, but at the same time, again, it's proven that he was the reason why Kansas City was good. Their offense was good, and I don't see Kansas City going to Super Bowl. It's early. They can fix it, but it just don't look like they're going to be that team. Like they're going to get beat. The defense is playing pretty good, but who have Kansas City played? They played the Jacksonville is not that good. They played a Chicago Bears team. They played a New York Jets team, and they lost to Detroit.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna take a quick break because I'm gonna bring in somebody that might agree with that as far as Washington, as far as Bieniemy, and he likes what Bieniemy's doing. But we're gonna take a quick break, and again, man, let's continue to watch, man. Like I said, y'all gonna see that Bieniemy's no joke. He's the truth. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
We're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and before we bring our next guest, y'all saw the commercial, whatever. They actually asked me when I heard my calf that I was gonna be in that commercial, but I told them nah. It just looked like it wouldn't be right because it's my show, and why? I mean, it's our show, and why would I be on? They're showing me it, then it looked like it's just biased. So I told Dr. Fowler and I can't do it, even though they want to show me with me healing and the great coverage Dr. Fowler did. But anyway, we're going to go to one only orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta, Dr. Donnie Fowler III. What's going on, cuz?
How's it going, fellas?
I'm good. So sorry again, Doc. I know it's good to have me on. That would have been a big issue, not issue, but big thing to have me and show my calf muscle in that commercial, but
You're made for TV, Mr. Controversy. We know that. So,
but Doc, everything's good.
Yeah, everything's good. Mom has a little one, so I don't have to play dad duty right now. So
I was gonna ask how was the first week, Doc?
We're good. I mean, she's actually 4 weeks old now.
Oh.
We were in the hospital for a week, so we've been settled at home for about 3 weeks. So I think we're getting the hang of it.
Okay, I was gonna say, how the first 3 weeks? How your sleep been?
Not bad. We have a night nurse that comes a few days a week that helps.
Okay.
So
nice.
that gets us a little extra sleep. So
That's nice. That's good. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because she gets sleep and you okay, cool. That's good.
yeah, I can't be like sleep deprived and like trying to cut people open the next
Yeah.
morning.
Right, you can't do that.
That's not very safe. So
That's very true.
Good. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
yeah.
So Joe Burrow, we talked about earlier in the show. Doc, I don't know what's going on with Joe Burrow. We know he came off this injury, the calf injury. It was why he missed training camp and preseason and everything. But do you feel like it's because of his calf injury? That's why he's playing bad? Or is it just he's rusty for no training camp, or he's just playing bad?
I mean, I think it's a little of both of the first two things you said. I mean, of course, missing training camp, getting the reps with some of the guys. I'm sure he was thrown to them in the offseason. He knows most of those guys. So it's not like he's coming in necessarily with new weapons. He knows Chase, he knows Higgins, he knows Boyd, etc. So I mean, I don't necessarily think it's as much the timing. Certainly, yeah, the more reps, the better. But I do think it's more the injury where, you know, if you watch him play, I mean, he was never one that he was going to beat you with his legs, but he could still extend plays and be mobile and do things that he's not doing right now. You see little this last game. I mean, almost every drop back, I feel like it was 3 steps or quick throw because they don't want him to have to move or get hit or anything else. So I feel like they're very limited in the offense that they're running right now as a result of his calf and mobility. He did claim, I think he had a quote after this past game where they obviously got shellacked, that it was the best that he's felt after a game so far. So I guess that's encouraging that he's going in the right direction, but I don't think we've seen it translate yet on the field with him being comfortable.
Speaking on another Bengal, Doc, T. Higgins, he didn't practice again today with the injury to his ribs. What are the chances of him playing on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, rib injuries we've talked about in the past. They're tough, whether they're actually broken or bruised, and it sounds like he only has one, but that's still very painful, especially for a position player who's going to be running and taking hits and everything else. So, I mean, he hasn't been ruled out yet, but he hasn't obviously gotten in any kind of legitimate full practice. So I know he kind of claims that if you kind of see some of his sound bites that he's not ruling himself out, but at the same time, I don't know. I'd be surprised if he played, and even if he did, no disrespect to Mr. Higgins, and I'm frustrated because I got him on both my fantasy teams, but he has not been producing so far this year other than one game. He had 2 touchdowns, and the other 3 games have been like nothing with a lot of drop balls. So I think it gives fantasy owners a little bit of a reprieve, possibly, and an excuse to sit him more than likely this weekend, because even if he does play, he may be on a pitch count, or he may get another hit that knocks him out or flares it up, and you might only get like 1 quarter of action. So I would, if you're a fantasy owner, I would probably hold on him, even if he does suit up this coming weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Once again, we're here live with Dr. Donnie Fowler III, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. And hey, I'm fantasy wise, he's helped me out. T Higgins helped me out, so I say that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't get mad. Maceo says, and Burrow has been awful. Yep, and he says one shot he done. Sit down talking about T Higgins. So I get it. But here's another question, and whether you're a Giants fan or fantasy football, Saquon Barkley practiced today. Do you expect him to play on Sunday with the high ankle sprain? And if he does, how productive do you expect him to be?
Yeah. So again, high ankle sprains are much worse than regular ankle sprains. I mean, a regular ankle sprain is usually a couple weeks, but a high ankle is usually 4 to 6 weeks, and he's only a couple weeks in now. He obviously is a super athlete and heals faster than you or me or anybody else. So if anybody can get out there quicker, it's someone like Saquon, but I'd still be a little surprised. He's only kind of gone back to like team drills and limited practice. He's not full contact or anything like that. So I would still be a little surprised if he's out there this weekend. And again, similar to Higgins, albeit a different injury, even if he's out there, I don't think he's getting, 20 plus touches. You might get 10 to 15, but they're still going to be mixing in Breida and some other stuff and trying to, I think, gradually work him in. So I think you still need to try to look for options. Granted, you probably, if you drafted Barkley, it was likely in the first round. So it's not like you're going to have two better running backs likely on your roster unless you got super lucky. So I would be cautious, but I would be surprised if he plays this week. I'd be looking maybe 2 weeks from now.
Another fantasy stud from the past, Cooper Kupp returned to practice today after coming off IR. Do you trust him enough to start him in your fantasy this week if he plays? And how much do you think that weighs on the Puka owners out there like myself?
Yeah, so Kupp's a tough one. Well, at least I've said this before. I think I tried to warn people early on to be cautious where you drafted him because it's never good to draft a receiver who's already having hamstring issues before the season even starts. So at least, hopefully, if you have him on your team, you at least waited to the second round to pick him, not the first round. But I know he thinks he's kind of said he's ready to play. Sean McVay came out and basically said he's limited, but he's not limited. He's going to do an irregular practice, and we're just going to have to see how he responds. So I don't think it's out of the question that he's going to be out there, but you also don't know how the Rams are going to break him in because they tried to bring him back the first time with the hamstring injury. He re-aggravated. He was out for 4+ weeks. They've found Puka Nacua, who's been amazing picking up the slack, and even the other guys, Atwell and whatnot, have had good production for them. So I don't think they want to rush him and re-aggravate, because if it happens a third time, who knows how long he's going to be out. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if he's out there, but like the other guys we just talked about, I think he's going to be on a pitch count, and I would be a little cautious about expectations. I mean, maybe you're start him as your third receiver or flex and hoping to get, 10-ish points depending on how he's doing. But I don't think you're going to see the Cooper Kupp like 12 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown this weekend.
Hey man, I'm with you. Just get healthy, but I have him on one of my teams. I got him late in the second round, so I was one of those people. But I'm doing pretty good without him. But yeah, it's time for him to come back, because he need him come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely. So and I know how you feel, Doc, as far as people with them deep tissue injuries. You always said it. So I took heed. I won't play him unless I have to, but I'm not playing him until maybe next week. If he plays this week or whenever he plays, I'll wait till the second week.
Yeah, I think that's safe if you can afford to do it.
Okay, so Doc, we're gonna start off, man. We're gonna do our picks, and I'll mention where we at as far as our picks, and our record. We're gonna do that.
Did I hear we have a tie?
Huh?
Did I hear we have a tie?
All right. Well, you put yeah, we do have
the cat out the bag.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. We have a tie. And actually, it is. What are we? Doc? We're all
10-6.
10-6. We're all 10-6. So yeah. So Doc caught up, putting pressure on us. I'm not gonna lie, man. I felt like I felt that pressure and made some picks. Maybe I shouldn't have made, but we're gonna get into that
As usual.
Yeah.
Contrarian.
You got You guys got me that first week, man. I had a baby in the NICU and the hospital, and I was all over the place. And I went 1-3 that first week, but ever since I got right. So I mean, it's gonna be fun the rest of the year now. So
I will say this, Doc. You got lucky with that quarterback change last week. Deshaun Watson got ruled out last minute.
Oh yeah, he did. I meant to say that. I said that. Yeah, I told him he got lucky with that.
Yeah.
I was betting on Lamar. I was not betting against Deshaun. I'll put it that way. But
and I wasn't betting on Dorian Finney-Smith, wasn't I? Just talking.
Right.
True.
All right. So first with this Oklahoma Texas game, we'll start college. They got Texas at a -6.5. Doc, you taking that?
Yeah, I'm going to take Texas to cover. Great, always a fun game to watch. Both teams are undefeated and looking good. And I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Texas probably wins by 7 to 10 points, somewhere in that region, and covers a 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking Texas too with the -6.5, I believe. We spoke a little bit about Texas earlier. I think, Doc, they're the most complete, and I'm a big Dog fan. I think they're the most complete team in college football right now. And I think Ewers has all the confidence in the world. This will be one of those Heisman watch games for him. I think he wins by multiple touchdowns in Oklahoma. I like Texas.
And I am taking 6.5 also for everything you all said, so I agree. UK, we got Kentucky versus UGA. They got UGA at -14, I think 14.5, I believe. Rue, you taking that?
Yeah, I'm taking the 2 touchdowns with Georgia. It seems like year after year, it's either Arkansas, it's either South Carolina. I mean, I know we struggle with South Carolina, but I remember Arkansas like a year or two ago, they were like ranked number 8 coming here to Athens. Everybody says how good of a game is going to be. It was supposed to be so good of a game. I bought tickets and went because I wanted to see a good game finally. It was 36-0 at halftime. I think Georgia unleashes the beast on Kentucky this weekend. I know they hear it. I liked what I saw from Bo Nix. I'm Bo Nix. What's my quarterback's name? Oh God. Oh, this is not good.
I don't know.
This is not good. Bo Nix, Brock Bowers. I like what I saw from
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck. You saw I tried to play that off. Carson Beck and Brock Bowers. So in that fourth quarter, I saw, we knew it was going to Brock, but they couldn't stop it. And I think that carries on for the rest of the year.
I'm gonna take it. I'm like you. I just feel like I think Kentucky, like I said, I think they're gonna give them a chance, but I feel like UGA is gonna roll with it in the second half and show who they are. I still don't think they play well, but I think they cover that spread. Doc?
I think Georgia's going to win, but I'll be the contrarian. I'm going to take Kentucky to cover 14. We don't know how real they are, but they did mollywop Florida this past weekend and insert a dominant run game with Davis. Now that's not going to fly against Georgia's D. And they got my boy Smile Munden, one of my high school kids that I know well, who I'm always pulling for. But again, Georgia just hasn't impressed me overall. I don't feel like they've had a complete performance yet. And maybe they will this weekend, but they went down to the wire against Auburn. That's always a tough place to play. But until I really see like full quarters, both sides of the ball, and the Georgia we've seen the past couple of years, which I don't think we've seen yet, I'm going to take Kentucky to cover the 14, but Georgia to win by 10 points. So.
All right, so let's get to this NFL. I'm going to start it off. We got Houston and Atlanta. Honestly, I believe all of us picked Houston, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll just say my piece and we'll move on. I think we all believe C.J. Stroud is showing that he's for real. But not only C.J. Stroud, let's give credit to the coach. Let's give credit to the head coach. I believe he got them boys playing on both sides of the ball, and they believe right now. And, I mean, Ritter right now, he looked like C.J. Stroud in the preseason. So
Yeah.
I think we all believe that Houston is just a better team right now, and with Witter as your quarterback, it's not gonna work. I think this is the game, though, Rule and Doc, that they make that change in the middle of the game, and they play in Heineke. So, but we all have Houston. Doc, Tennessee and Indianapolis. Who do you have?
Yeah, and I'll say I agree. By the way, on Houston, I think they're fun to watch. Both sides of the ball, they got young talent. They kind of remind me a little bit of Detroit, like a year ago, where you saw the talent coming out, and now they're really establishing themselves as a team. And I think that's what Houston is doing now too. No disrespect to the Falcons, but yeah, they don't they haven't found themselves yet, and I don't know if they will anytime soon. I'm going to take Tennessee. This one was tough. I feel like both teams have been very inconsistent throughout the season. But Richardson has played very well recently, but I don't know. I just watching Tennessee this past weekend, how they kind of handled Cincy, not that Cincy's been anything, just that run game. I think it's going to be close, but I like the Titans over the Colts.
Go ahead, Ru.
I'm taking the Colts over the Titans simply because it seems like the Titans, this is how their season always goes. Win a game, lose a game. Win a game convincingly, lose a game convincingly to a team you thought you were going to beat. It seems like that seems to be all the time. But no, I like how the Colts played in that second half against the Rams. They came up short, but they played pretty good. Anthony Richardson, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Zach Moss carried the ball well. It's a division matchup, always tight, but I think Indy wins this one in a close game. Yeah.
I think this is the toughest defense that Indy's going to play. I mean, Houston's a good defense, but that was the first game of the season. So I think with Tennessee, they've been playing good defense as of late. It's just their offense hadn't caught up yet. But I think this is the first time they play against a good defensive team, and I think it shows. I mean, you got to remember, man, you're looking at Mike Vrabel. Vrabel is a great defensive coach, and he has that Bill Belichick mystique where we're going to take your best asset and we're going to shut it down. I think they're going to do that with Indianapolis, and the fact that now you're starting to see them run the ball more and get that going. Now this is when you're about to see the play action come along if they keep get Derrick Henry running. So I have Tennessee winning as well. All right, Cincinnati versus Arizona. I believe we all picked Cincinnati, correct?
Yeah, this one was tough though, but I picked Cincinnati.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I almost picked Arizona, but I was just like, this is not the game where I'm gonna pick and I lose. I get behind on the pick, so that's why I chose chicken out and I chose Cincinnati. It's real tough, Ru. I believe you, so I agree. Doc, you feel like this is a tough one, or you said Cincinnati hands down?
Nah, I mean it's a tough one. It's kind of like, will the real Cincinnati please finally stand up? I mean, Arizona's played actually better than I think most would expect. I mean, they obviously beat the Cowboys, 49ers. They kind of weren't really in that game, but I think they're going to play a good game. I just, at some point, it's kind of like Cincinnati's has to wake up and become the team they've been the last couple of years. And so I'm betting on that to maybe start to matriculate this weekend. So.
All right. And then last game, we got Dallas, San Fran. I'm going with Dallas.
I want to hear this.
I think this is the game that San Francisco loses because that pass rush is something else. And I know San Francisco has a great offensive line, and play action is going to be a monster. But when you have athletic players, man, like Lawrence and Parsons coming at you, And that even though they don't have Diggs, but the type of team San Francisco is, I don't think you need that covered guy with this team. You know what I'm saying? So I just think the front four is going to get to Purdy, and we're going to see Purdy finally have a regular season loss. I mean, and then they're going to hit him in the mouth. And even though Dallas offense isn't playing as well, but I think because of turnovers and getting great field position, I think this is when you see you see Dallas make big plays that's going to help them win games offensively. I don't think they're going to be methodical and driving like that because San Francisco is a great defensive team, but I think it might be where you see CeeDee Lamb get a big play or Pollard run for 55 yards and get a touchdown. So I think Dallas is going to smack him up in the mouth, and I think Dallas is going to win convincingly. It's going to be a shock, but I got Dallas surprising everyone and winning convincingly. I think they're going to they're going to beat them handily, like more than about 13 points, I believe. Yeah, just because of their defense. Doc?
Wow, I might need to take some side action off air with Mr. Controversy on this game, especially if he's going to give me 13 points. But, you know, I think you must have forgotten the Cowboys of the last 20 years where, for whatever reason, everyone gets all hyped and thinks they're the best team in the world. And they've already lost to the Cardinals this year. And I think San Francisco is the most complete team on both sides of the ball. They can beat you with defense. They can beat you with the run game. They can beat you with Ayuk and Debo, just, you know, and Kittle with Purdy distributing the ball. Kittle doesn't even care if he gets targets or catches. He just wants to hit people. They're just like a blue collar. They're going to stuff it down your throat. And I just don't think Dallas can match the completeness of their team. Their defense is amazing, but I don't think that offense, yeah, they look good against the Patriots, I guess, but that offense is not clicking, and they don't play the same way, in my opinion, that the 49ers do. So definitely give me the 49ers in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Doc. That Dallas offensive line has been banged up all year. Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, they're about to really feel it against this Niners pass rush. And Dak's going to be under pressure all game long. And Mr. Controversy, you said that pass rush for the Dallas is going to get the Purdy, but that's the one thing that the Niners really do good. They keep pass rushes off Purdy because seeing the attention that C-Mac, you have to give him. And that just opens it up for, like Doc said, Ayuk, one of the best route runners in the NFL, Samuel, and Kittle. So I think Dallas is going to play right into the game that 49ers want them to play, and 49ers is going to smack them up. I don't think the Dallas O-line – I think Dallas O-line gives up at least 4 sacks this game, 4 or 5 sacks. I'm with the Niners, man. I like – sort of like you said, Mr. Contra, it's the opposite. I like the Niners by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think the Niners are the better team overall, but I just think this is that week where they're playing a right team this year. And I mean, honestly, I feel like Dallas should have won it last year, and in the playoffs. I mean, they played 49ers the best out of everybody else. I mean, you can say Eagles, but Purdy didn't play. I feel like Dallas. I feel like 49ers are going to beat the Eagles last year. Purdy played and stayed in the game. He wasn't hurt. But Dallas, they kept 49ers offense, like they held them, that defense. And I just believe because of that, you don't play against a lot of teams as athletic like the Dallas Cowboys, especially in the front four. And I just think they're going to be better than that offensive line for the 49ers. It's going to be just one of them games. It's going to be weird. I mean, that's what we've seen all year long with teams, so that's why. But all right, Doc, we appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Doc.
Tell the family we say hello, even the dog.
All right, fellas.
You have a great, wonderful weekend.
Good luck to your Bears tomorrow night, but not really. So,
hey, Doc, he's gonna be there.
I know we talked earlier, so I hope my Commanders ruin the experience for you. But.
Yeah, I'm rooting for your Commanders, man. Bears just.
All right, Doc. We definitely appreciate it. All right, man. Rue, let's hurry up and move it on, man. We got the MLB playoffs, baby. It started. We here.
Yep.
We here. And honestly, just to give it up, just to go ahead and talk about it, right now, Arizona has a 4-2 lead in the sixth. They're already up by one game.
Underdogs.
But first of all, before I go any further, I'm still sick about my Cubs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was tragic. You can't go 4-16 the last 20 games. Don't expect to make any kind of
We peaked too soon. Yeah, that was horrible.
Y'all peaked way too soon. Yeah.
In the third, Miami is down 2-0, and Philly has a 1-game lead over Miami, which kind of expected for me. But and then the games earlier today, Texas is up. They beat Tampa Bay 7-1, I believe. I'm sorry, 7-1, and they're up 2-0 in that series.
Yeah, they won the series.
Oh, they won the series because it's 3. Yeah, they won the series. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And because wild card, and then Minnesota, believe it or not,
Minnesota, who was a tragic franchise,
right? And they
finally won.
Yeah,
finally won a postseason game,
and they won 2-0 so far. So, all right. First of all, can Milwaukee come back, or you think it's a wrap for them?
Nah, I think it's a wrap. I had Diamondbacks to win this game. Diamondbacks took a risk, man. Their manager gambled. Game 1 started. I would say, you have 5 pitchers on your roster. Started the 4th best pitcher. I can't even pronounce his last name. Fat, like Pfaft, Fat. He started him game 1. Took a risk, but won. Dude did his thing. I think he went 6 innings, gave up 3 or 4 runs. The team won. Then come back game 2 and start your ace, Zach Gallen. So with Zach Gallen on the mound now, Brewers used their ace. Now you're going to the second man, Peralta, who's been shaky all year. But now you got Zach Gallen game 2. I just knew it. I said once that worked, Zach Gallen ain't gonna really give up too much. They're not coming back in this game. That series over. Diamondbacks have bases loaded, 1 out, up 4-2. Couple more runs, put them to bed.
Which out of these wild card teams? Because it looked like we're about to see sweeps in all series.
Yeah, we are.
Arizona just scored another run, but who has the best chance of winning in the next round?
I gotta go Texas. I have to go Texas because I think Texas has been this team all year long. They've been the most consistent wild card team, other than the Phillies. Phillies have been pretty consistent too. There's just the Braves lead is so damn, good. So they're clear. But the Rangers have the pitching. They have the hitters. They were the best hitting AL team. Scored the most runs in the AL this year. Had the best average. So they were the best hitting team in the AL, and that's nothing to play with in these playoff situations. So they're going up against Houston. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it? Yeah, Houston. Because believe it. No, they're going to Baltimore. They're going to Baltimore. Yeah, so they're going to Camden Yards, and it's going to be good because that's a hitter's ballpark right there. And so I think that's sort of right up their alley. I actually had the Rangers winning next series.
No. You're right. They go to Baltimore because Minnesota swept that series, right? Yep.
Yeah, and I have the Rangers winning. I think they have all the pieces they need. And Max Scherzer is throwing again in simulation, so they might have Scherzer.
Yeah. Who is the team besides? Is there another team besides Baltimore? Because you believe that. What you said it was Texas, right?
Yeah.
So you believe because Texas is that good, correct?
Yeah, Texas is good.
So what team that's ready to face a wild card team do you believe has the worst chance to win?
You know, all bias aside, Braves.
Whoa.
We saw this last year though when we faced Philly. We were the hotter team. No, they were the hotter team. At the time, we was both hot. It just went their way. They know us. We know them. Of course, I'm fully confident in the Braves winning, but I think it's a tougher matchup than any other matchup for any other number 1 and 2 seed. I think the Dodgers sweep Diamondbacks. I don't think Dodgers own the Diamondbacks. They're in their division. They own the Diamondbacks over the last 2 seeds. They own them. The Braves don't really own the Phillies. We 5-time division winners, but Phillies just got our number last year. It can get crazy in Philly. Crazy things happen. They probably had the most ruckus playoff atmosphere, Philly fans. So I would say the Braves have the tougher test ahead of them. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens, man.
Saturday.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought about going to that game. Still might try to go to that Baltimore game Saturday. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, big game. Big game. Can't wait to see what happens. So I'm with you. I think Texas wins. I think Braves going to the World Series. I just believe the confidence that they have.
Yeah.
I think when you have Acuna confident, that's when you win. Acuna wasn't playing that well last year.
No, he wasn't. He didn't play good at all.
And when you have your best player playing like that, I mean, they feel confident. And to me, versus last year, it seemed like they're having more fun this year than they were last year. So, and I think that translates to wins and confidence and everything. So, we'll see, man. But hey, man, great show. And, look, when you hear this music, you already know what it means. It means that it's time to let you go. But before we let you go, we have a couple of shout outs, and stay tuned because you might be one of them. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Almighty God for giving me the platform to do what I do, say what I say, make you upset, mad. Want to give me the stop it button. God, I definitely appreciate it. And man, just love this. Definitely want to give a shout out to my guy Rue. Rue, appreciate you, bro. Got anything to say?
Oh yeah, man. Always a pleasure, bro. Like I said at the start of the show, best time of the year. Got baseball. I can't ask for more right now, man. Hey, got basketball around the corner. You got emo Jimmy. You got as a sports fan, you gotta love this time of the year, man. Y'all be safe out there.
Yes, sir. Also want to give a shout out to Dr. Doubt Paul the Third, orthopedic ortho runner, coming in like he does every week, giving us these great analysis, great picks. So we appreciate that. Also, I want to thank everybody who listen live, watch live, listen as a podcast. I want to thank Alan Field, Wanell Goodwin. I want to thank Brandon, of course, our guy. I want to thank Vincent, the Fantasy Guru, Aaron Langley. Who else is in the chat room? Eddie Powell, Maceo, Danny Thompson, and everybody else who's watching this. Like I said, on the podcast, we appreciate it. For listening to it, we appreciate y'all. I want to thank my lovely wife, beautiful wife, lovely children, my aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews, great cousins, my grandma. She was quiet this weekend. So, but hey, man, love on family. Let family know that you love them. Love them while they can still feel it. Love them while they're still alive. Eat good. Drink responsibly. Be safe. Be healthy. And until then, hey, next week, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace.